Thugs harassed a young cashier after closing, not knowing the bikers were still inside the store. The fluorescent lights of the Maplewood grocery hummed softly as Emma, just 21, wiped down the last checkout counter. Her red uniform shirt, slightly faded from countless washes, clung to her shoulders as she tucked a loose strand of hair behind her ear. It was closing time, but tonight the stillness felt heavier than usual. Outside, the November wind howled, rattling the glass doors, and shadows stretched long beneath the parking lot lights. Unbeknownst to Emma, 3 figures sat hunched in the far corner near the deli cooler. 3 bikers in worn leather jackets, silently finishing their coffee and pie, waiting for the storm to pass. They'd been unnoticed all evening, respectful and quiet. No one paid them much mind, but that was about to change. Just as Emma slid the closed sign into place, 3 men burst through the door. Their laughter was sharp, their eyes gleaming with malice under the store's harsh glow. One grabbed the sign and tossed it aside with a cruel chuckle. "Hey, sweetheart," the tallest sneered, stepping closer. "You're closing up alone? That's risky." Emma's breath hitched. She tried to speak calmly. "The store's closed, sir. Please leave." But they didn't leave. They circled her like wolves. One yanked her arm. Another mocked her trembling voice. Then, without warning, the leader grabbed the collar of her shirt and ripped it down the front, partly to humiliate her, partly to show control. A sob escaped Emma as she covered herself, tears streaming down her cheeks. "Now where's the safe?" he demanded. That's when the air changed. From the shadows near the dairy aisle, a deep voice rumbled, "Back off!" The thugs turned, startled. Behind them stood the 3 bikers, broad-shouldered, bearded, eyes burning with quiet fury. They hadn't said a word all night, but now they stood like stone walls between Emma and her tormentors. "You got a problem, old man?" the thug spat. The lead biker didn't flinch. "Yeah, I got a problem with cowards picking on kids." What followed wasn't a brawl. It was justice, swift and silent. The bikers moved with practiced calm, not with rage, but with purpose. One disarmed the thug who'd torn Emma's shirt with a firm twist of the wrist. Another blocked the exit. The third dialed 911 without taking his eyes off the group. Terrified, the thugs backed away, hands raised. "We didn't mean nothin'," one stammered. "You meant plenty," the biker growled, "and you'll answer for it." When police arrived minutes later, Emma was wrapped in one of the bikers' spare leather jackets, warm, smelling faintly of cedar and motor oil. She couldn't stop crying, but this time from relief. "You okay, darlin'?" asked the oldest biker, his voice softer now. He had a tattoo of a cross on his knuckles and eyes that held decades of hard roads and kindness. Emma nodded, clutching the jacket tighter. Why did you help me?" He looked at his friends, then back at her. "Because once someone helped me when I had nobody. Kindness don't cost a thing, but it can save a life." The police later confirmed the thugs had targeted 3 other stores that week, always striking at closing time, always picking on lone employees. But at Maplewood Grocery, they met more than resistance. They met conscience. The next day, Emma returned to work, nervous but determined. And sitting on the counter was a brand new red shirt, neatly folded, with a note. "Wear it proud. You're stronger than you know." No name. Just a small sketch of a motorcycle. Weeks later, the same 3 bikers walked in again, this time during daylight. They bought coffee, tipped generously, and gave Emma a nod that said more than words ever could. She never learned their names, but in her heart, they were heroes. Because sometimes bravery doesn't roar. Sometimes it's the quiet man in the corner who sees wrong being done and chooses to stand up. Sometimes heroes don't wear capes. They wear leather, and they ride into the night, leaving only goodness in their wake. If this story moved you, if you believe in kindness, courage, and everyday heroes, please like, share, and subscribe to ACA Story Tells. Your support helps us bring more true stories of human decency to light. Because, in a world that often feels dark, stories like this remind us that light still exists, sometimes in the most unexpected places.
Thanks for watching.